Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Farming Simulator 22 with our realistic series. Right, that's the one, to get to this one. That one's actually a bit further away. I think that was slightly... I'm going to go to the one that's a bit further away at the moment, because I'm hoping that I'll be able to do all of that planting in one go with this one. I really do like the setup I've got for the seed tender and everything, but it's a long way for it to drive and drag that seed tender all the way down to the furthermost field. We've got chickpeas and we've got lentils. I don't know why, but I think chickpeas is going to... you would plant them further apart. I think you would. This is pure guesswork on my part, because I've never grown either of them, and I mean, I guess actually there's not going to be a great deal of difference between them, but I kind of figure this is one that's got the best chance of being able to do the entire job with one load of seed in the seed drill. We're not going to need to come back and do it again. So let's start this one up, and off we go. It is using it fairly quickly. Probably should have topped up the fertilizer a little bit as well, although actually the fertilizer is being used slightly slower than the seed is, so we should be okay on that front. And I'm going to go around here. So sheep that we can get in that field in there if we want to. I'm seriously considering getting sheep in this series. I think that could be quite a cool thing to have, and I feel I've made the right choice as well with the tractor on this seed drill, because it seems to be struggling a little bit to pull it, or it's mostly just the gripping the ground in order to pull it. Then the other tractor, which is a little bit smaller than this one, that one can go on to the weeder, the hoe, and we can do the weeding in the field that we planted last month, the sugar beet field. That one's going to need weeding. I've seen the weeds growing up through it as we came down the hill, drove past it. So this I will do 2, maybe 3 times around the outside edge of the field, and then as soon as we've done that, we can then just set the hired help going, and that one will carry on. If you have a look in the top left-hand corner, you can see... Oh, no, 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 no! Well... apparently, I forgot to change the seed over. How many of you noticed before I started planting that I'd forgotten to change the seed over? Thank you very much for telling me, by the way. Yeah, a heads up would have been nice. Oh well, we're doing more sugar beet now. We can take sugar beet up to the biogas plant as well. And also, sugar beet storage is right here. Though there is a little bit of a drive round to get to it from this field, because you've got to go down to that end and then back down the road. But we have sugar beet storage that we can get to from this field. Are you really going to turn around now? Yeah, he's going to struggle with that, isn't he? And then we'll do the maize just from the field over there, rather than doing a longer run from this field. I feel maybe that's a little bit of a better option for us, actually. Alright, well, we're doing sugar beet from here. There's not a lot that we can do about that. Let's carry on with this one. I'll have to try and remember to change it for the other field, though. I don't want to be doing more than 2 fields of sugar beet. And I could go and get the cultivator out and cultivate the field up and change that over, but quite frankly, I don't want to. Like, we've gone and planted it now, and I feel that we should stick with that. It was a mistake. We didn't plan to do that. And yes, we could go and, you know, I mean, in real life, if you did make an error like that, you probably would just go with it and say, right, well, okay, we'll change things around. But if you really did want to change it, well, I'm not sure what you would do, actually. I suppose you could go and spray Roundup across the field, but that's not really going to do anything to stop the seeds from germinating, is it? You got the seeds are in the ground. Like, I would think the only thing that you could do is go back through and plant what you want in there, rather than the one that you've just gone and planted, part of the field, and then have a targeted herbicide once the plants start coming up, so that it kills the sugar beet but doesn't kill corn. That's what I would guess you would have to do, but quite frankly, I don't think that would be a very good idea. Like, I would say that if you did make that error, you probably would just roll with it and be like, right, okay, we have made a mistake here. This isn't what we wanted, and it's probably going to end up in a poorer yield because of the crop rotation that has been carefully planned for the farm. But it's kind of the lesser of two evils, picking that option rather than trying to drill over it or do something different. Because I don't think there would be a lot else you could do. I mean, you could try cultivating the field, but I don't think that's going to do a lot for you. I don't think that's going to help. So yeah, I'm curious. Those of you who are farmers, if such a situation did arise, if you were in a position where one of your fields had been you'd gotten halfway through, either you or someone who was working for you had accidentally drilled the wrong crop into the field, what step would you take? Would you keep that crop growing in the field? I mean, I'm not asking whether or not you'd fire the individual involved or whether or not you'd give yourself a slap on the wrist for being the idiot that did it yourself. Mistakes do happen. Would you just go with it and keep that, or would you try to drill in a fresh crop, or what? Like, how would you go about dealing with that? I seem to remember something about that happening. It wasn't when I worked. Like, I used to work on I worked on a big estate for a year, and I did all of the drilling on that estate. I did all the winter drilling on that estate. That was one of my chief jobs for the autumn, was doing all of the drilling. And I actually quite enjoyed doing that job, and I got all of the that work done. That was quite a rewarding and satisfying job. And I didn't get any of the things wrong, because basically I had the manager was there all the time saying, right, well, it's this field next, and once you've done that one, you go on to this field next. But he did say, I'm sure it was him that was telling me a few years previously someone had drilled one of the wrong fields. It was only a small field, but instead of, they were drilling the winter wheat at the time, and he had one field that was earmarked for being winter barley, so they were busy doing the wheat, and he said to those three fields, don't do that field, that one is going to be barley. And the guy got it wrong, and he did the one that was supposed to be barley, and he left one of the other ones. So the manager come along, and he was a bit annoyed. And, well, when I say a bit annoyed, this fellow would lose his temper over everything, so I can imagine there was a lot of screaming and shouting over that one. And they carried on, and they put wheat in the field that was originally planned for wheat, and then the one that was supposed to be barley and had the wheat in it, well, they just left it as wheat and had a poorer yield in the field. But he really wasn't happy about it. Sure it was him who was telling me. It sounds like something that he would complain bitterly about, because he would complain about a lot of things, and it just sounds like something that he would definitely get quite excited about. I'm just going to leave that one there for a second, and I'm going to go to you. So we've done... Not quite sure why you've turned round and parked yourself just there and then decided to not go any further. We do only have 85 litres of seed left, which is not enough seed to finish this field, not by a long shot. So I'm going to drive this one up to the entrance to the field, and then we're going to go and get our seed tender. I'm going to bring that one down. And the two are going to have a glorious union right here. So let me go to you. Love the sound of this vehicle as well. You can't hear it very well. It does sound really good. I really do like this. I'm really pleased with this little setup that I've got. I mean, yes, he is weighing it down tremendously there. He is properly making it struggle to go anywhere with that, but it does actually seem like it is pretty cool. I can feel the weather on this particular scene right here. I can just feel it. It's going to be... It's April. It's the very beginning of April, right? the sun is shining. It's not going to be a hot sunshine. There's going to be a cool breeze coming through. It'll be quite fresh, actually, which is why he's got his overalls and everything on as well. But generally speaking, it is a glorious day. Sun is out. And because of the type of weather that we've got, whilst the sun is out and it is really, really nice, it's also not unpleasantly hot. So overall, this is an absolutely wonderful day, and we lined that up beautifully right there. I'm very proud of myself for that. Let's fold that bad boy up again. And I'm going to reverse our little tiny Deutz Fahr turbo machine Meduda thing here. I don't know what this is. I think this is a Deutz of some kind. Let me have a look. Am I driving? Yeah, I'm never going to find it in there, am I? No, it's not under. It's. Oh no, I'm leasing it. That's why. Cars in here. It just says Lizard Turbo, small truck. It doesn't even show what it is. It's a. I'm pretty sure this is a Deutz Fahr of some kind. It's definitely a Deutz vehicle. Well, I say definitely. I'm pretty sure it is. I might be wrong on that. So please get into the comment section and let me know if I've got that wrong. I really want to know what this is. I'm pretty certain it is a Deutz of some kind. Very, very old machine. It could actually be just a complete homemade jalopy that someone has just knocked together in their spare time, just for something to do because it was fun. And that is equally likely, actually. It's definitely a possibility. Now, we've got a lot of space right here. So I'm going to drop down to this side over here. And I'm going to start. I'll move it out a little bit because of that telegraph pole. Well, there's actually there's several poles here. I don't think that it's going to make a big lot of difference. So let me just start that one. Set him going there, and we'll just hope for the best and hope that he can actually get through it. And then we can go back to this one. And I will finish going around the field. I'm going to do. We've done twice around the field now. I'm going to do once more, and then we can have the hired help working on this. I have done twice around, well, twice, thrice. We've done thrice around the field. And this one is now doing the land work. I've decided to do it this way. So it's actually doing shorter runs on the field. I'm going to move up and down this way because I just figured it would be easier for the hired help. It might actually be able to get all the way across the field doing it like this. And we'll deal with field 24 in a bit. The other one has now finished, and I do see on that one, pleasingly, actually for both of these, they are putting the seed out and also the fertilizer as well, so we're not going to have to worry about them again. It's just field 24 and 36 that we will need to deal with. So this one here, I'm mostly done with this field now, except for the outside round that I'm going to need to do. So I'm going to do that now. We're going to travel around the outside edge of this field. We're going to go this way. I normally drive the other way when I'm going around the outside edge because I got better control over it. Well, no. I actually normally drive from from this side, but it's the width of the machine. Like, there's more that sticks out on this side, on this particular one, than sticks out on the other side. But we should be alright with this. And then there's going to be a little bit of work to do just to finish this one up, just down in this bottom corner, and then this is all done. And we've got sugar beet planted here, which wasn't what we were planning, but that's fine. That's fine, we can work around that. And then in our next field, we are actually going to go and get the correct crop planted. Now, the interesting thing with this one is the fact that we've got sugar beet planted in here. I thought this field would be interesting enough trying to harvest it with sugar beet, with corn, with doing a maize harvest in here. I thought that would be quite an interesting job to try and do. It's going to be even more interesting, I feel, doing it with sugar beet and getting the sugar beet harvesters in here. Because it's quite a wiggly little field. This is probably why the field was originally planted as grass.
Now, what I am doing is, yes, I know I'm shunting backwards and forwards with the thing on the ground, and I really shouldn't be doing that. Trying to get this bit. I was just wondering whether I should even do the bit behind the pole here. But it's too late now. I've done it. Right. There we go. I won't do any more than that. And there we've got this whole issue we get with the ground on a slope. It's always a bit of an issue. There's nothing that we can do about that. We've had this. Yeah, that's just not going to work, is it? So what we're going to need to do for that little tiny bit there, frustratingly, is we're going to turn around and go up here and do it like that, which is the only way that we can achieve that bit. And then I should be okay to now come back round and get the rest of this. So if we travel down the hill a little bit, there we go. Right, now we can go all the way around the outside, just kind of finish this off. There should be enough seed in the machine to finish this field off. Then we can load up again before we head off over to the one on the other side. Although what I'm actually thinking is that I might buy a bag of seed from the shop down there, and I can top up when I leave this field. I can just pop across the road, top up with the seed, and also a bag of fertilizer so that I can top up the fertilizer at the same time. How much fertilizer have I got in storage? The next thing. I'll check that. Maybe I'll check that first. We'll see how much fertilizer we got, because I could do with a bag of fertilizer being dumped in here. I'm probably going to need... Oh! Alright, that's interesting. When you're travelling around the field, it's still putting the fertilizer out on the ground. It won't put the seed out because we've already drilled this part, but it is putting the fertilizer out across the whole of the machine, so you actually end up using a little bit more than you might want to, doing it like that. I mean, it's not going to really make any difference. You're not going to be trying to double plant an entire field, so yes, it does use a little tiny bit more fertilizer than you would want, but it's not so much that it's going to cause you any major issues. Now, let's go over here, and the edge of the field here is really close to that pole. Actually, I'm just going to leave it like that. I don't want to get too close to that pole because it's going to end up causing problems with the harvest otherwise, isn't it? I suppose I could like adjust the edge of the field and just bring it in a little bit, because I really like, I've gone and left a couple little bits behind now, and I really hate leaving little tiny bits around the edges of the field. That's something that's a pet hate of mine. I really despise doing that. But yeah, there's also the pieces over there on that other side where we're going to... So I've got these couple bits here, which we'll do on our way out. And we can also tidy up... Oh, now we've got another bit of this where it lifts it up out of the ground. I'll do that a minute. Oop. Right. That I'm going to have to... do here like this. The only way that we're going to be able to do this is if I go like that. I'm thinking maybe we'll just put this field back to grass. I mean, we are talking seriously about doing some animals on the map, and a few of you said, well, you know, we could start off with doing some sheep, which would be quite an easy one to go and do to begin with. I've thought of, like, I'm seriously considering doing all of the animals because they're all integrated into the map, and so it'd be quite interesting to see how the map handles each of the different animals. So it could be quite an interesting thing for us to do, so long as we don't spend... This was the key thing that everybody said, like pretty much everyone said, was don't have it as the focus on the map. Like, I know we're getting nicely into this series now, but a lot of you were saying that you don't want animals being the focus, because I say that I'm going to do crops and stuff, and I do crops and that, but generally the animals is the focus, whereas this, we want crops being the focus. So I will remember that, and I will try to keep the crops being the focus. That's what we're doing at the moment. And you see... the thing with crops for me is you got the... I don't mind doing the ploughing. I like creating new fields. That's a more interesting job. Doing the planting is always a job that I find a little bit dull. It's always a little bit uninteresting. There's not a lot going on. And then there's a few other bits like the rolling, the weeding, and stuff like that, which, again, a little bit tedious. Harvest, that's the fun bit. I like doing the harvest, and I like selling crops. You know, getting that huge amount of money coming in. With the animals, I actually quite like doing the grass work in the game anyway, so having the grass work going on is always fun for me. I'm just going to drop that down there, and I'm really hoping that he will do all of it. Yes, he does. He left a couple little bits out here, which I'm going to do that with. Like that, and then I'm going to do the same over here and go and get that little bit. It's going to be fun driving a sugar beet harvester alongside of this hill. That is quite a steep hill that we're planting here. So driving a sugar beet harvester along the side of that hill is definitely going to be an interesting thing to go and do. Right, I've got one bit of this that needs to be done at this angle. I got 81 litres of seed left. Yeah. Drag you up there like that. And round we go. So as I've got 81 litres left, that does strongly suggest that we're going to need 2 or 3 refills over in the big field. But we've done this field here. That is now all finished. And I'm actually going to do a little bit of editing here. I say editing. A little bit of landscaping. We're just going to alter this ever so slightly. So I'm going to go with the painting and... Oh yeah, this one we don't have very many options in this one, do we? So we'll just go with the grass over here and change that. All of the work that has been done with this map. Right, this map is absolutely amazing. It's a huge amount of work that's been done with this map. And we've got this restriction on the options for the different color palette that we with our painting, which does disappoint me a bit. I will be honest, that does disappoint me a bit. I thought we would get more from a map of this size and caliber. Also, just doing a little bit extra around the poles, just here. We don't need to go quite out that far with this one. I am anyway. There, and I'm just going to put a little tiny bit of grass on there. Just to fill it in a bit. Because I can. There. Right, that'll do. Now I can go and take this one over. So I'm going to fill this one up down here at the station down here. I don't think I've got much fertilizer in storage, have I? It's there. Solid fertilizer, 800 litres. So we haven't actually got very much, so I'm going to buy a fresh bag of it in here. I did say that we were counting this as being organic fertilizer, but I want to be able to produce my own. So buying one bag now, I think, is an okay thing to go and do. Oh, wait. It would probably help if I unfolded this one first. Yeah, I think it's an okay thing to go and do. It's not an ideal thing to go and do, because technically we're not paying the organic prices for fertilizer. But I want to be able to get fertilizer in our field over there. And, wait, look, here, there, canola, corn. Right, I have corn selected on here. I'm planting corn properly in this one. So we have got that bit as well. Now, buying seed, I think buying a seed is absolutely fine. Yes, we will try to grow our own seed as much as we can. But right now, I'm okay with doing it like this. So what I'm actually going to do, in order to like the seed, yeah, I'm just going to buy that one right there. I'm going to buy one bag there, because I won't even use the whole bag to fill the thing right up. But For fertilizer, it takes 2,000 litres in total. We got 442 at the moment. So if I get one bag to start off with, that'll be fine. But what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to go through and I'm going to find the most expensive fertilizer that we've got, because that, I feel, is going to more accurately represent the cost of buying in organic fertilizer. This one is actually called organic fertilizer, but it's the same cost as the others, which is really disappointing. I know that organic fertilizer has come down quite a bit in price, so technically it's not going to be a huge amount more, but it's still a little bit disappointing being that cheap. Now, this is a bit more like it. Well, that's still about the same price. There's one, all right, there are actually some back up here that I did find. So there's these right here. This is fertilizer, and it's 1,020. So that's actually going to be 2,040 for a bag instead of the standard 1,820, which all of the others are. So that's the one I'm going to buy right there. It's 500 kilos, so I'm going to buy 3 bags of that, which is going to cost me 3,060. So I feel that that is a good representation of organic fertilizer. I don't feel like I'm kind of cheating any systems or anything like that. And I know that there are a few of you that would prefer it if I would actually do conventional farming, but I really want organic farming. I don't like excessive use of pesticides and herbicides and stuff like that. And yeah, I do realize that they are used a huge amount, and a lot of them are kind of needed for the way that we do our farming, but I also feel that perhaps they are used too excessively, and therefore I am wanting to do my bit of farming here without using them, because I just feel that it is a better option. So I'm going to go in through here. Excuse me, people. And let's just wait there a second. Let's just go and check on our other one and see how he's doing. He's actually doing a really good job. He's getting across the field quite nicely as well. About halfway across at the moment. And doing a superb job. So this one over here, I'm going to drag this one in, and we're going to set this one up. I'm actually going to do... I'm going to go once around the field with this one. I'll go once round, and then I'm going to set the hired help going, because that'll sort of take care of most of what needs to be done. And then we can deal with the rest a little bit later. I'm actually going to turn it round while he's folding it up. And I'm going to go this way around the field. So I go once all the way around the outside edge, and then we'll probably run back around. Unfortunately, folks, that is all we have got time for today. A massive thank you to everybody who has earned their way into the Great Book of Names. To find out some more details about all the names coming past, please head into the description and click on the link to the Discord. It's a link to another video. The link is on the other video. Please also consider checking out the links there for Nitrado, who provide gaming servers for games like Farming Simulator, Minecraft, Ark, and several others. And there's also Fanatical, who will help support your gaming habit by providing you with cheap games and also giving me a small commission on anything that you buy using my link. If you've enjoyed this particular video, then please head down below and give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.